In a small hollow beneath a rocky ledge, a female cheetah named Amara, who had just given birth, gently licked the wet fur of her newborn cub, Tano. But in mere moments, the flood swept through, engulfing everything. Amara tried to carry Tano to the safety of a nearby fever tree, but the current was too strong. Tano slipped from her grasp, lost to the churning mud and silver waves. Amara roared in despair, racing along the riverbank, her eyes searching the frothing waters, but her cub was gone. 3 days later, when the waters receded, Amara followed Tano's faint scent. Under a fallen tamarind tree, she found his lifeless body, tangled in debris. Her roars fell silent. She pressed her muzzle to Tano's still form, tears soaking her spotted fur. For hours, she lay in the mud, as if longing to join him in death. That night, the wind wailed across the savannah, carrying Amara's anguished cries into the dark. The next morning, Amara rose, her frame thin, her eyes clouded with dried tears. She wandered through thorny acacias, head bowed, no longer the swift hunter she once was. In the pale light of dawn, she seemed a shadow drifting across the N'goro Savanna, lost and broken. Then a deep roar echoed from a nearby ridge. Amara crouched behind a termite mound, peering out. A pride of lions, led by a massive male named Kweku, was feasting on a zebra carcass. The air thrummed with their growls, thick with the scent of blood and victory. Amara turned to flee, her heart too heavy for the scene, when a faint whimper stopped her. Not a roar, but a fragile cry. Beside a fallen lioness lay a tiny lion cub, Lila, trembling with fear, her wide eyes pleading. The pride ignored her, engrossed in their meal. Amara's instincts urged her to run. Lions were her rivals. But Lila's cry pierced her, echoing Tano's desperate wails in the flood. Step by silent step, she approached, unnoticed amid the lion's growls. Perhaps they had accepted the lioness's death and abandoned her cub. Lila flinched as Amara's shadow fell over her, but didn't cry out, only shivered and stared. By instinct, Amara should have struck the vulnerable cub, a rival species. Instead, she gently lifted Lila by the scruff, as she had once carried Tano, and slipped away. The lions didn't stir. Under the shade of a sprawling baobab, Amara set Lila down, licking the mud from her fur and warming her frail, heaving chest. Lila whimpered softly, the scent of milk lingering on her muzzle, her eyelids heavy but struggling to stay open. Amara curled beside her, sleepless, guarding against every gust of wind, as if protecting Tano's soul. That night, Amara felt her milk return, a spark she thought had died with her cub. Lila suckled eagerly, heedless of the unfamiliar taste, seeking only warmth in the cold world. She fell asleep nestled against Amara's belly, a lion cub cradled by a cheetah, an impossible bond born of grief. Amara gazed toward the river, then closed her eyes, embracing a new purpose. From that day, Amara devoted her maternal love to raising Lila, a child of another species. She taught her to stalk through the tall grasses, to heed the wind's whispers, to scent prey from afar. At first, Lila cried at night, missing her lioness mother, but Amara pressed close, licking her cheeks and holding her tightly. Instead of a raucous pride, Lila had only Amara, the baobab, and a small patch of savanna. Amara showed her how to ambush, to move silently, to strike with precision. Lila was slower than a cheetah, but stronger, and her quick mind absorbed every lesson. Once she chased a gazelle and snapped its neck. Amara watched, not claiming the kill. They shared the meat, ate side by side, and slept together as if bound by blood and soul. Over the next month, Lila grew taller, her roars deepening, echoing across the savannah. Amara listened, her face a mix of pride and quiet worry. She knew Lila couldn't stay hidden under the baobab forever. Her lion instincts were too strong. Still, she taught her tirelessly how to evade predators, how to climb the lower branches of fever trees, a skill no lion cub had mastered. Lila's claws grew tough, her shoulders broad, her jaws strong, her eyes sharp like a cheetah's. Her body seemed a blend of both worlds, merging strength with agility. One moonlit night, Amara and Lila hunted together, felling a young kudu, their first major kill as a pair. Amara didn't roar, only purred softly. Lila pressed her cheek to Amara's, a silent gesture of gratitude. Under the silver light, the cheetah and lion cub stood as the strangest mother and child in the N'goro Savanna. But Amara knew their time was limited. One misty morning, she led Lila farther than ever, through swaying grasses and past thorny bushes, toward an unfamiliar horizon. They reached a rocky ridge overlooking a sunlit plain. Below, a pride of lions rested, their golden fur gleaming. Lila growled softly, sensing danger, but Amara stood still, her eyes fixed on the scene. She nudged Lila's cheek with her nose, as she had done countless times, then stepped back, her gaze heavy with sorrow yet resolute, leaving the choice to her. Lila hesitated, her eyes locked on Amara for a long moment. Then slowly she descended toward the pride. A few lions lifted their heads, wary but silent. An adult female approached, sniffing Lila, recognizing the scent of her kind. Soon Lila was surrounded by other cubs, tumbling and playing. Amara watched from Therage, certain she had delivered Lila to her rightful place. She turned away, hiding the tears welling in her eyes, the wind ruffling her fur like a final farewell. As she walked, memories of Tano and Lila swirled in her heart, their faces blending into one enduring love. Below, Lila blended into the pride, never looking back. Amara didn't expect her to. True love was letting her be herself. 2 months later, a towering figure appeared on the horizon, a full-grown male lion. Amara, resting beneath the baobab, heard familiar footsteps. She sprang up, squinting, and recognized Lila's gaze. The lion approached slowly, touching her nose to Amara's cheek, a gesture heavy with memory. No words were needed, only soft growls, a language only they shared. They lay together for hours, not hunting or sleeping, simply sharing their bond. Before departing, Lila rubbed her head against Amara's shoulder as a cub bidding farewell. Amara didn't cling to her. She nodded, as if blessing her journey. She knew Lila carried her love in her heart, just as Lila knew she was a lion raised with a cheetah's devotion. Occasionally, Lila returned to the baobab, her visits brief but constant, never forgetting the mother who saved her. Amara remained there, aging gracefully, forever a mother, even across species lines. In the harsh N'goro Savanna, their love stood as an eternal miracle, transcending nature's boundaries.